everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps and I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game in the gang will it cost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for appeasement. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob, with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin.
Everybody, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? We got a good fight tonight. It's it's Chris Eubanks. What's going on, Julian? What's going on, my brother? What's happening? What's good for you? Hope you're having a great weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know what y'all think about this fight. It's Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn. Not two of the most popular fighters that we have, but I would tell you this: Chris Eubanks, he can fight. He can fight. It's just they're British fighters. Conor Benn, he's a scrapper. He's a scrapper. Do I like this fight? Do I like this fight? I like it because of their dads. Let's just keep it real. There's nobody that Chris Eubanks has. Let's just keep it real now. There's nobody that Chris Banks really fought besides Conor Benn that you really, that you can say, damn, you know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight again. Same with Conor Benn. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just got subpar competitions. And the problem is that the father's legacy outshines the son so much, so badly that the only competition that, the only thing you want to see is the sons fight each other, right? Because the dads were so damn good, you know what I'm saying? They were, Nigel Benn was a legend, you know what I'm saying? He was the Dark Knight. Chris Eubanks, he with his silly ass personality, he was one of those flamboyant type of, in your face, kind of arrogant type of dudes, right? that used to just, troll all the time you saw the dude. He was just in there, just in character. Um, but far as you can't take shit from their skill or courage, right? You couldn't take nothing from their courage, right? And they were just really, really, um, they was above the sport, because they were just they're so dynamic, and they were so, just what's the word I'm looking for? They were just such superstars, right? But then you see the Suns, and they try to come out with the same, it just don't work for them. It just don't work for them because they're not on the same caliber as their fathers were, right? And that's those are big shoes to fill. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I mean, they actually became fighters, which is good, and they actually were tough, and they actually was competitive. So that right there, you could say is, that's big time in itself. That's big time in itself to have your children actually become professional fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, the son fall from the tree, and what I'm saying, they don't become professionals, or they don't have any kind of recognition, right? But these two, what I'm saying, they're so even though Chris Eubanks is a little bit come from the bigger divisions, and Conor Benn is from a smaller division, it's just their names. They're really still in their name, their legacy, as far as who their fathers are, and that's a good selling point. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're a boxing head, you want to see what the children do. You want to see what ferocious Fernando Vargas kids do. You know what I'm saying? Because we watched his dad, fight Oscar De La Hoya, fight Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if, they're still feeding their children through their names, right? And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful, wonderful thing, right? But at the same time, they don't have the same kind of cachet that their dads had. Because their dad was, you could tell they came from poverty. The way they fought. It's poverty fighting, and then there's the pampered kid fighting, and I think that's what we're seeing nowadays with the legacy boys. You know what I'm saying? Because they were pampered. You know what I'm saying? Where their dads came straight from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell that Conor Benn was pampered just by the way he carried himself. You could tell Chris Eubanks, were pampered just by the way they carried themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, watching these two is like, face off. It's like watching a tea, like two women having tea. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be shady and slight each other passive aggressively, right? and, and so so the shit talking wasn't all that good. You know what I'm saying? Because English people rarely like to just come out with it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they've been around a lot of Americans or something, they're never straightforward. You know what I'm saying? They like to try to be sophisticated, and that kind of just kind of dampens the spirit of the face off, right? Because they're trying to be sophisticated, especially Chris Eubanks. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, just say what the hell you mean. Just come out and say some shit, bro. Just be straightforward. You know what I'm saying? You've been around enough Americans, you know what I'm saying, to talk your shit. And Conor Benn, he's just, I don't know. He just like he can't complete a sentence. You know what I'm saying? He can't articulate correctly. But with all that said, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that gentleman, yeah, but the thing is, it's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's fake. It's like, bro, stop trying to be a gentleman when you're trying to bash in somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? You trying to the goal is to go in there and beat the hell out your opponent. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gentlemanly about that. You could be sportsmanlike. Now that's cool, but all this, oh really, oh really, oh bro, it's like, come on now. It's like, let's be real. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You boys, dads got it in, and what I'm saying? Chris got the one up on you, Ben. Ben, Chris got that one up on you. So now you want revenge. So now you want to come back and you want to show that you can beat him. Now, I don't know. We do know that Conor Ben will cheat. We do know that. So, he's a very competitive, little spicy dude. And I mean, I don't know if he went the same route. So last time he got hit with that those pregnancy steroid shit, I was like, bro, are you trying to have a baby or are you trying to win a fight? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, stay away from those PEDs. And I know Conor Ben, he just looks like he's, he would just take that extra effort, what I'm saying, to get that W, because it's so important for him to get that W, because he wants to go back down and compete at the 147 division, right? And there's a lot of fighters we forget about at 147. We keep forgetting about Tiger Johnson, at 147. 147 is starting to get some names back going. Tiger Johnson is somebody I forgot. He was in the Olympics. I covered him in the Olympics, and I forgot all about that guy. You know what I'm saying? But top rank right now don't have a home. And so I had to go back and look at some of his fights. I was like, yeah, Tiger Johnson is, what I'm saying? I forgot he was, up and coming. He was that dude, but he hasn't fought any names to really put himself out there. Right. So, if Ben is gonna go back to 147, what I'm saying, it's gonna be it's he might be able to survive, what I'm saying, because he can scrap a little bit, what I'm saying. But if 147 is not that competitive, right? But if he was to fight somebody like a Brian Norman Jr. or Devin Haney, I don't know if he could beat those guys, what I'm saying. I really don't, what I'm saying, because he's just kind of a brute, what I'm saying. His style of boxing is just kind of like, come forward intensity type stuff and throw volume punches and stuff. So he's not really a high boxing IQ type of dude. He got power and speed, what I'm saying. So I don't know, what I'm saying. He might want to, I don't know. I don't think he can compete at 154 either. So I think that'd be a little bit too much skill for him. So it's almost like he's a novice fighter, but he's a real fighter now. Don't get me wrong, but y'all know what I mean. His skill just isn't quite like top notch. You know what I'm saying? His name is top notch. His name is bigger than his fighting skills, basically. Chris Eubanks, I do believe, had the potential to be more than what we see. I think if he would have probably trained with Bomac, he would have been a bigger star. Had the right trainer, had the right promotion company. And 'cause I think Chris Eubanks is on the, I think he's about what, 34, 35, something like that. Might be older. Um, he's definitely got the skill and the talent. I just think he just things didn't line up for him. I think he's one of those guys that Roy Jones Jr. trained, and what I'm saying, he's not Roy Jones Jr. He just no, you can't do it. What I'm saying, he figured that out real fast. What I'm saying, that he can't do Roy Jones Jr. So he needs somebody more like a Buddy McGirt, somebody that's going to teach him the fundamentals. Somebody like a Bomac. And because after that Bomac training, man, I tell you, Chris Eubanks looked like a complete fighter. And I thought Bomac was good for him. So, going into this second rematch, a lot of people ain't interested unless you kind of a boxing head, if you, because and that's more due to how we watch the fathers and stuff and how personal that was. They got documentaries on how personal these fights was with the with Chris Eubank Sr. and Chris Eubank, not Chris Eubank, but Conor Nigel Benn. How personal it was, and it was said that I'm not going to put it out there, but I'm saying Nigel Benn, like father like son. That's all I can say. Like father like son, pretty much. Would you say he has heart? He says English people have the most polite arguments, so gentlemanly. Yeah, exactly. He says he has heart for sure, and I think so too. I think he has heart. I think both of them have heart. Um, I just think Conor Ben thinks he's a lot better than he really is, and maybe you need that. Maybe that's something that you need, you know, to have that attitude. You know what I'm saying, to make it as a fighter, because he really thinks he's, I don't know, he think he's huge. He think he's a superstar, and he got all these goddamn tattoos over his body. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. He says, I can't lie. You say I can't lie. I think Bomac and their team might be one of the best trainers out there. Yeah, I mean, did you see how Chris Banks transformed after that? And it wasn't long. It wasn't even a long period of time. And Chris was just out there moving like a boxer. He was using his skills. You know what I'm saying? His range control was beautiful, right? So I don't know if it's just a thing of his motivation and him believing in the team that's training him. You know what I'm saying? That might have a lot to do with it too. Because he just looked like a brand new fighter. I'm seeing him, work behind the jab. I'm seeing him jab nicely. Say he was able to go out there and defeat Conor Benn. And Conor Benn, he shouldn't be uh, that hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get by, those first few rounds where he's got the power and the speed. And, after that, what I'm saying, once he starts to kind of wear down, Chris Eubanks can go in and start, what I'm saying, picking them apart, kind of like he did the last time. But, Conor Benn, he can knock, he can hurt you. He got the kind of power that can hurt you. And he rocked Chris Eubanks quite a few times. He rocked him. But Eubanks is a naturally big guy. He is a naturally, 168 pounder. You know, um, he is a natural 168 pounder. So you're not just going to get him out of there with a couple of shots, especially when Conor Benn is a small dude. What's going on, Retro?
Hey, what's up, Paul? I had to pull up one of these days to
What's
talk to
happening?
you real quick.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, man. What you think about this Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn fight? What do you think of them two?
When I look at this fight, I'm like, they had 2 fights already. And like the trilogy is more like, when you have a trilogy, it's like one person wins and then the other one win, and then we go to a trilogy. But it looked like Chris Eubank was just playing with Conor Benn and beating the stuffing out of him in the second fight. So why are we having a third? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Well, I
But
mean, did you even pay attention to the face off or
no, I
anything
paid
like that?
attention. I like the build up. Chris Eubank Jr. got that boogeyman energy. He had me cracking up when he said, "Oh, I beat up Conor Benn and he went onto a victory tour and I was just at home chilling." I started cracking up. That's some crazy shit, bro. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I like the build up. The promotion is good. Like, they have history because of who their fathers is. So it's like it's good, but I feel like I don't know how to explain it. It feels like no, what is it, Conor Benn?
It's like they're
Like,
trying to squeeze all the damn
yeah,
juice out,
like
out of an orange.
yeah, that's my only problem with it. But like, if Conor Benn had more pop and a little bit more season, it'll be a better fight. That's my only problem.
So it's almost like you predict that Chris is just going to win again, and
I
you know what I'm
predict
saying,
that.
like.
Yeah, it feels like we've seen this before. Like, that's what it feels like.
Mhm, Well, it's kind of like Biffle and Arthur Beterbiev. It's
Yeah.
like you've seen it and you already know what they can do, so you're not going to see too much different. It's just
Mm-hmm.
who feels better that night, and who can take advantage
Yeah.
of their openings, their strengths, and their weaknesses. And this is kind of like, okay, can we see somebody else? You know,
Yeah.
but
But
the thing
yeah, I'm
is,
about to
these
say,
dudes are legacy.
yeah.
hmm
Uh-huh.
What you
I
finna
could
say?
see, look, on some real stuff, if Chris go in there all cocky and he slip, I could see Connor catching him with some sneaky shit. If Chris, or underestimates him and start feeling himself, because that's when a fighter really gets hit with some shit. Like when they feel like, oh, I could beat him, he can't do nothing with. You know how it is.
hmm
So it,
hmm
it can happen.
Well,
This is the fight business. If Connor catches Chris, being overconfident or catch him on the entire do overworking, he could definitely, steal the fight. It'd be crazy if it happened like that. The craziest upset. I would love to see that.
But it's something
This,
about Conor Benn's attitude. He's like a little petty, vengeful, what I'm saying, little hobbit. You know what I'm saying? He
yeah,
just seemed like he just got this attitude, like he'll get you in the ring or outside the ring. And maybe I'm just reading him wrong, but he just seemed like he's one by any means necessary type dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
like he'll
He,
punch
he,
you,
he wants
punch
his
you. You
lick
know what
back.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
He one of
you know.
them.
But
Like if you were
but
like
he
his friend, and you were to rob him, he gonna rob you back. Like he's gonna make sure
mm,
to rob you back. He's one of them. He's definitely for sure.
definitely got that street aura about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, definitely. And Chris Eubanks, he just
Definitely.
seemed like he's a tough dude. It's just so weird because he's a tough guy, but he just seems so soft the way he talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. It's that British thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
they
the
don't give off a
hospitality.
well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? It just seemed like they just kind of he's trying to be sophisticated, but it come off gay and shit. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
comes off. You
it
can't
cuts
tell if
too
he,
soft. Yeah. I know what you
you
mean.
know, not
Like,
just soft, like sweet, like you know. Let me tell you, like he putting on airs or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
not
And you,
well,
and maybe
he's
it's
trying
just
to
a
be like
British
his
thing.
dad, but he don't got his dad like voice. That's what the problem is. Hear when I hear Chris Eubank talk, he sounds like like a rough British, but he
Yeah,
tries to come off like his dad, like soft tone. Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, it's not
that's what
working.
I'm saying. It's like, why not just be yourself? Well, I guess they want to try to, morph into, their fathers as much as they can, try to pull from as much because
Yeah,
that's really why people want to see this fight. So I guess you try to, so you can kind of like see them fighting again through them, right? And
yeah.
which is why I'm gonna watch it. That tell you the
I'm gonna
truth.
watch it. They
Is
they they fights action packed, no back footing. Like I seen them. They can't. I'm not saying they're the best fighting on the back foot, but they're not the best fighting on the back foot. But I'll say Conor Benn is better on the back foot than Chris Eubank. I could see that. Like he's a little bit slicker. I just feel like Chris Eubank just got more experience and he more tough and he could eat more. He durable too.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he
definitely.
unorthodox also. Like when I used to watch Prime Chris Eubank, it was scary because he was a Walmart Roy Jones, and people used to laugh at me. I'm like, bro, that's nothing to play with. Nah, that's something dangerous. Nah, you get hit one of them crazy uppercuts, his head movement is night. But he don't fight like that anymore. So it's kind of like now he's more like he don't try to do too much. He's trying to save as much energy. Chris Eubank has evolved as a fighter, and I love that. It's like he went from being, like I said, Walmart Roy Jones to more like he's more like he kind of I can't say I can't really explain. Like let's say like now it's more like he doesn't leap for the punches anymore. He's more like he's
Right,
setting
right.
people up with the
But his
jab. He- yeah,
fundamentals
it's
is
like
strong.
it's way I like that. He's back to, I like the fundamentals. That's one of the things I love in sports, anything. And I like that Chris went to the fundamentals because he could knock people out. He's always had the ability to knock motherfuckers out, but now he's taking his time, and in the late rounds, he's still got energy. He's putting it on you. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
Well,
thing.
he always was athletic, but he just had to raise his boxing IQ. And I think as you get older, as your athletic abilities tend to wane, you got to depend on your mind more. And
Yeah.
I think he showed that, saying that he can actually think boxing and he can learn. And that's what he's doing. He's getting better. He's got better coaches now that he
Mhm.
trusts. You know what I'm saying? And Roy Jones Jr. You can't. Roy Jones got to understand that everybody can't do Roy Jones shit.
The closest
Everybody
thing
can't.
was Walmart Chris Eubank. That was the closest thing we got to him.
Right, but he was still dangerous. But he it's
Yeah.
like his boxing IQ couldn't, he couldn't handle it, even though because he had speed, what I'm saying, he had explosiveness, but he just didn't know when and where to do the shit, right?
Yeah.
And so he
Hmm.
would get caught, he would run out of energy, his pacing was off, so he would
Yeah.
get tired, what I'm saying. So he wasn't Roy Jones Jr.
He
See,
was.
he
Yeah.
can't do, yeah, just like people try to do Mayweather shoulder roll. What I'm saying? They don't know how to employ the shit, when, where, the timing be off. Soon
Uh-huh.
as they try to do it, they get. I saw Berto get his ass beat trying to do the
I got
shoulder roll. That's
I
come
gotta
on.
ask you, who you want for EJ coach? I got two recommendations. I got three.
Well,
I got
Virgil Hunter.
okay.
You got Virgil Hunter. You got Ronnie Shields, Buddy
Mm-hmm.
McCurry. It's a lot of them out there.
Okay.
All the old school fundamentalists. You know what I'm saying, that really teach you from the ground up. They teach you how to throw a jab if they see your jab fucked up. if they see you're not throwing the combinations, the timing of
Yeah,
those kind
yeah.
of coaches that I just mentioned, Ronnie Shields,
Mhm.
Virgil Hunter, those guys are gonna, they see you doing something wrong, and they're very sticklers on how you throw your shit, right? And they're gonna
Mhm.
correct you, and that's what EJ needs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Though that kind of close coaching, you don't need that just run through a drill type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and you just pressure the fighter the best you can. No, come in with a game plan. This, because all fighters don't that pressure shit don't work on everybody. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You got to watch your opponent because I got the sense that Derek James never really watched or really watched film on his opponents. You know what I'm
No.
saying? I get the feeling because he never had a contingency plan for Crawford or fighters that are more versatile than his fighter. So if
Mhm.
you see somebody who's more versatile than your fighter, then you got to give them
More.
a
Yeah.
game plan.
More.
Right, hey, you can't do the pressure shit. You overreach here, he's gonna make you
Mhm.
pay. So what you need to do is, what I'm saying, box. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to feel him out, wait him out. That really hurts Crawford in fights when you wait him out, right? You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
you saw Madronov. You know what I'm saying? You can't just rush because he's a counterpuncher. He's
Yeah.
he's trying to work off your mistakes. And if you
Mhm.
make a mistake with, he got power, he's got speed, and he throws in combinations, so he's gonna hurt you when you mess up real bad. So the good thing about Chris and Khan is that they got each other, right? They're each other's legacy, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't think they don't really need to let nobody inside their bubble. That's why they fought 3 times. And I was looking at the first fight. I don't know if this is the first, second fight. I lose count, but this is under fair use, and I just wanted
Mm.
to show a little bit of it of their interaction. I think it's like the last round of the last fight, and
Yeah.
so you guys could check it out.
Let me. Oh yeah, I want to say, with the EJ coaching, I want EJ to either go to, like, I guess he could go to all these coaches and pick up something, like even stuff like that that would help him right now, like Kevin Cunningham, Freddie Roach, who else I said, Floyd Mayweather, who else, Sugar Ray Leonard and Antonio Tarver. Those people I just named, if he could pick up just one tip from all them coaches, he'll come back a dangerous fighter. Cause when I look at EJ, I'm like, he's athletic and he likes to fight off the high guard. And when he gets your timing, he'll use the shoulder roll. And I'm like, he can box when he needs to, but that's not what he likes to do. He likes to pressure you. He likes to be on the inside and he likes to break you down. And he got it. And he loves to jab. So I'm like, but the problem is his head movement and his foot movement aren't the best. I feel like if EJ tighten up that defense, and he really get, like I said, he got a good high guard, and he likes to use the shoulder roll when he gets your timing. I feel like he's not defensively irresponsible until once he start going too busy. I've seen in between fights, like he'll go in like he's tunnel vision. I know it happens when he's going in the pressure. He's hitting people. He's going and then he gets hit. Boom. So I feel like sometimes he gets too busy focusing on his offense. Like I feel like he needs to have like more of an active guard, like offense, defense. Even when he's beating you up, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Paul. Like
Hmm.
even if he's on the
But
inside, he could still
where
stay.
his
He could
off
stay defensively responsible.
where his offense to defense transition is hard got worse as his condition declined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because when he was physically fit under Blu-ray, it didn't matter. His reflexes was there. You know what I'm saying? His bounce and his step. I mean, he could switch. He could even. A lot of people don't even know that he switched. He switched. When he fought Lamont Peterson.
yeah. He,
You know
he
what I'm
got a
saying?
little.
He
That's
switched
what
in
I'm
that
saying. He
fight.
got a little sauce. He
And
just.
I mean, he can box. He can do it whatever he want. But what happened is, as you don't take care of yourself, and you don't see. Sometimes you got to be in top physical, you know, um, shape right, to be able to do some of these things, right? And then EJ squeezing down to 147, you got to make sure that weight cut is correct, or you're not going to have all your energy. It's not going to
Yeah,
be right. You just get sluggish. And I think a combination of being at the weight, being at that lower weight for so long without moving up, I think that really killed them. But yeah, but Tucson, what you were saying, he said he watched, yeah, I know he said he watched films, what I'm saying? He told me he watched it on the way to the gyms and all this shit. Like I'm like, bro, you got to prepare, you got to study this shit. It's like you're not just gonna watch a fighter fight one or two fights. It's like
yeah,
the Crawford team be on this shit for years, watching
yeah.
how watching
They
all your
was studying.
mannerisms.
Mm-hmm. They
Right.
was
You
studying
got to
EJ.
study the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
He's acting like Derek just act like he just casually watched film, just, hey
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm just gonna see a couple of rounds of this guy and see what he got. No, bro. I mean, did you see how well Crawford prepared for Canelo? I mean,
Yeah.
he was bouncing those shots off his gloves. He knew when and where he was gonna throw those shots.
Mm-hmm.
EJ don't be prepared like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't think Derek James, he just be either better, just more talented than the fighters that he's fighting, and he's just tough enough to take the shots and he's able to go through them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now
EJ was
he really
teaching unnecessary.
outboxed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So he
EJ was
he
teaching a lot of
really out right. So he really outboxed Mikey Garcia, but he never went down that path of developing. He even said it. He said he don't like the box because it's boring, right? He don't like the box because it's boring. I'm like, bro, you got to develop your boxing skills. You got to develop everything.
you're
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And we haven't seen that Spence from that point on. He just kept bulldozing everybody he fought instead of boxing. You
And I
got to
feel like
develop that
that's
in the
what
ring.
killed him too, versus Bud. Bud, one of them fighters, he changed his style like a chameleon. You think you gonna fight boxing punching Bud,
Mm,
you might fight counter puncher Bud, aggressive Bud. Like that's what makes him really dangerous. I've been watching him. I'm like, man, I see what the problem is. And also, and another thing, you trying to get him uncomfortable, that's very hard. I be watching him and I'm like, yo, he doesn't get uncomfortable. You know how like when the greats they be doing their thing, they just be in the zone. I'm like, damn. So you gotta make him uncomfortable for 12 rounds, and you also gotta get him. You also gotta have a counter for the counter for the counter because he's not stupid. So it's like, and he's athletic, and then he got reach. So I'm like, yo, you gonna have to bite. You like sometime, and I'm like, what would you have to do to beat somebody like that? Is keep him uncomfortable 12 rounds, get him into a firefight, and also you're gonna have to have nuts and bite your mouthpiece and take one to give one when the like. But it's dangerous because he's a counter puncher too. He could clip you with some shit. This is dangerous. It's very dangerous. I see why but it's really nasty. In that boxing ring, he's him because I'm like, yo, to be him, you got to be a chameleon too. You have to be. It's the only way.
mm.
You
I
can't be a
agree. Tucson said, Tucson says, I'm in the gym in Dallas. My son's sparring today. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I
good
wish I
stuff.
could. I wish I could check him out. He said I need to go find Errol. Man, I for 4 years I was trying to catch up with Errol in Dallas, and we was in the same. Well, I think he moved out his neighborhood or whatever, but I was always over there on the stumping ground and stuff. But I could never catch him. He said Spencer always solid with the fundamentals. Says y'all keep trying to diagnose uh, flaws when Crawford will not fight or beat that nigga twice. You know what I'm saying? Well, that remains to be seen. But as far as Spence fundamentals, I never said that, what I'm saying, he wasn't fundamental. What I'm saying is that he didn't use all his skills, you know what I'm saying? I never said he wasn't fundamental, you know what I'm saying? So it's just he does have flaws, he does overreach, what I'm saying, when he comes behind his jab, and then he's predictable with it. You know what I'm saying? He can change up the timing on his jab, but most times you already know how EJ is coming. So, you got to be more creative, I guess you should say. And I thought when he fought, earlier before his car crash, that he was very creative. You know what I'm saying? He could switch the angles on his punches, and he just did more creative things. You could see him against Bondu. how creative he was, because he was just more fresher. He was just better in shape. He was just into boxing at that time, and as he went on, he just kind of just depended on his physicality. He depended on his talent more than all the skills that he possessed. That's what I'm trying to say. So he says Crawford was also scientifically prepared.
We know too, said we everybody know the truth. That man got the snack pack.
Mm-mm.
Devin Haney, bro, Devin Haney knock out Brian Jr. That shit is real. I'm keeping it real. Brian Norman Jr. isn't damaged goods. So
Well,
if yeah, he got clipped, but like it's like he ain't been through wars like how Earl was. He's still fresh a little bit, just a little bit.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'm just interested to see what he got left. So what he gonna look like, when he get back in the ring, depending on who he pick. If he pick Virgil Ortiz, if his punch resistance is there, it's gonna be a good fight because they kind of
Mhm.
both fight in a similar fashion as being pressure fighters and not wanting to go back. And I don't see Virgil really fighting off his back foot that well. Um, Hopefully, if Earl has been training, all this time and like really getting coached up,
Mhm.
he should be dangerous for
He should be.
anybody if that's what's been happening.
Yeah,
Because he
if he
looks
got
like
his
he's
shit
in shape.
together, I think it'd be a wrap for anybody at
Yeah.
154. I'm just keeping it real. Even Bud gonna have to be on
Hmm.
his P's and Q's because he like we said, he got that experience. He knows your timing. He been in the ring with you. He understands. Like, so yeah, I would like to see that rematch if EJ still got it and he's still on his world beater stuff. That's it. Yeah, you're right. I would love to see the rematch.
I just said that 2 cents. I said I mean, we seen him box, so we know he has a really cool boxing style.
Hmm.
Um, he he like you said, he just don't like to do it. I mean, if you watch
I
that
wonder
Mikey
why he
Garcia
doesn't
fight,
like to do it. Like, is it like
because you have
is it boring?
because you have to focus, you have to think when you're boxing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easier to go out there and bulldoze through somebody because you don't have to think. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You're just going out there, you're parrying punches, you know what I'm saying? You're putting your head down, you're biting down on your shield, you're taking punch. You don't have to do a lot of thinking. It's more automatic. But when you box, you have to sit there and you got to figure out, you got to find your openings, you got to figure out what this dude is doing, you got to watch your footing. It's a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
that's
it's a lot of
true.
focus that comes in with boxing. So he don't like the shit because it's boring. Same with I think Ryan Garcia would be a good boxer if he boxed, if he could withstand the focus of standing in there trying to figure out another opponent instead of just going in there and using your physical gifts and your speed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he's lost that. If he can't use his physical gifts and and Spence, you know what I'm saying? He even though, like I said, he kind of depended on his talent. He depended on his durability too much,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying, in those fights because he was just way much because he came from when you have to cut weight and you come out of a fat camp, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's hard to keep your stamina, right? Because you just had a fat camp just to make
Yeah.
weight. So you haven't had time to like really build no serious stamina. So he was just young enough to be, to have that youthful vitality and he had enough talent to beat those guys. But if he would have just been fully prepared, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? If he would have went with Blu-ray and he had the conditioning and he would have been fully prepared, been on weight and working on the skills and working on his boxing, I think he would have become undisputed. I think he would have probably beat Crawford. But I just think he didn't have the
Agreed.
mentality after bulldoze and saying. I think he just let himself kind of, get into a pattern and say he just didn't have that kind of love for boxing to keep getting better, right? And then he kept getting injured, and then he had another car crash accident. So, it was just unfortunate, saying that, he had some bad luck, he had some bad luck, and
Agreed.
his personal life, these fighters, we got to remember, You know what I'm saying? That their life still goes on. They still got their ratchet friends around them. You know what I'm saying? They still making bad decisions. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, still
especially
being
getting
people.
into the whole right, especially if your friend is whatever that dude named Yellow Beezy nigga and
The
the Mo
rapper.
3 guy after him,
Yeah.
and you trying to be amongst those guys, to expand your name and in the street and all that, then all of a sudden you got gangsters coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere you go, you got to be careful now. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because you hanging out with Yellow Beezy. You saw what happened to Offset partner. What was the other dude name? Got Malone,
Take off.
the Offset, the Amigos, or ain't that their name? Well, you see what happened to them, right? Just by hanging out in certain places, and
You're right.
you're going to be a target. EJ is going to be a target in Dallas because he's a star, and he started figuring it out real fast that you can't be everywhere, bro, as a star. You got the Dallas Cowboys, your name is up there in lights, and people want to
Hmm.
beat your ass, they want to take you down, they want to hurt you. Just so they could say, I did that to this dude, right? And I think he just
Hmm.
went through a learning him and Adrian Bronner, all these guys that start running into money, they start learning that you can't just go out there in the streets, what I'm saying, hanging out with everybody, even though I think Adrian Bronner still does that shit, what I'm saying? But you can't just go out there and hang out, what I'm saying? And I think EJ was just learning a whole lot of stuff at one time, plus he was, meeting um this chick and he had kids and so life still goes on for these fighters. I think Virgil Ortiz Jr. just had a kid. You know what I'm saying? He just had a kid. That's gonna change him, believe it or not. That's gonna change him. You know what I'm saying? He says, Pool, you see things you pointed out there. He says, when you sit back and go over all of them, he said the signs was right in our faces, but we didn't pay attention. He says how a fighter behaves between fight is very telling. Exactly. And we've seen fighters lose their lives. You know what I'm saying? From riding fast motorcycles, hot rods. You know what I'm saying? We've seen a lot of good fighters lose their lives behind this kind of stuff, drinking and driving, and not really leading a fighter's lifestyle. And I think that gives your rivals, what I'm saying, an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Once they see how you're living and they
Hmm.
see how you're eating, if they can talk to your friends and find out, what your habits are. Because what
Hmm.
Floyd said, I know when he's running, I know when he's eating, I know what he's eating. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of spies in these camps. There's a lot of dirty backdoor stuff that goes on. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Hmm.
can make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? If you're a sparring partner and you telling, hey, he gets up, we went running, you know what I'm saying? And shit, they shoot you a cool 700, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just by telling, hey man, he ain't even get up this morning to run, bro. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
he missed training for 3 days, Floyd. You know what I'm saying? And they giving money through the back door to keep information. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Because think about it, it's millions of dollars on the line in these fights. So the game is dirty. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
These fighters don't. They think they know what be going on in these camps. He says, in a sense of not taking care of the body the right way. He says, simple as that. He says, after taking those simple things into account, says Tank is not beating Shakur or Devin, and they know it. And see, that's another thing. That's another thing. They know if they're not leading a good lifestyle, and they know they're not going to do what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Because certain fighters you already know, like to beat Crawford. He's in the gym all the time. Shakur,
Hmm.
he's in the gym all the time. Devin, he's in the gym all the time. They really dedicated. They really do this shit. So there's certain fighters that you got to have a certain kind of mentality and a
Discipline.
certain
Yeah.
amount of discipline.
Hmm. Just to
You know what
be,
I'm saying?
just
To
to be
be
on the same level as them, not even beat them. I know exactly what you mean.
right. So, and we always talking about we want to see certain fights, but these guys know they don't want to face those crazy ass dudes that train all the goddamn time. Every time
Hmm.
you see them, what I'm saying, outside of they got boxing gloves on and shit in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to fuck with nobody like that. Like this dude he take a pair of boxing gloves wherever he goes. Wherever he
Mm-hmm.
stops, he's trying to throw hands with niggas in the street. That's how Roy
Mm-hmm.
Jones Jr. was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Before he turned pro, he used to be fighting motherfuckers everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Always, you know what I'm saying, trying to box somebody, you know, so always trying to fight. So it's crazy, man. You know, they know them ones. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody know them ones that just they're a little bit too into, you know what I'm saying, they all the way committed and stuff. So, you know, people want to stay away. Tank like I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make me some money. I'm not really trying to prove I'm the best, you know, because
Yeah,
you're gonna have to, you know, go that extra mile, right? You're gonna have to be dedicated like that to beat a Devin Haney or to beat a
Shakur,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's right. And you done put it out there that they ain't shit. You done put it out there that he's soft and you know what I'm saying, you done talked all this shit, but you won't fight them because you know them boys are dedicated.
Yeah,
Now,
my
I'm
that
not
was,
saying
that was
that
my
Tank,
biggest problem with Tank. I thought he like honestly, I thought Tank should have got them boys before they right now. Like he should have been beat Devin, been beat Shakur, and then now they getting that experience, and then they should have ran it back with him to get they get back. You feel me? He would have made money. Like this is crazy. Like the fights are right there. He and now they got experience, and now they're acclimated to like now they gonna beat you up now. Like they're definitely gonna like bro, it's bad. Like that power thing ain't gonna save them no more because they fighting bigger dudes. Like you see, like and they got the experience just like you. They've been boxing since they was a kid, so that all them tricks that you be doing on them cab drivers and pancake makers not gonna work. Like now it's like if he fight them, I know he's gonna get like I know the power is not gonna save him, and the parlor tricks ain't gonna work. It's not like that's why he won't fight them. He knows it too. He knows.
well, like in that Devin Haney sparring thing, you know what I'm saying? Tank was getting the best of Devin until the conditioning side came in.
Uh
And
huh.
see, you know, you saw that when the conditioning side came in, you know, Tank couldn't hang because Tank don't train like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't train to go on and on. He trained to come in there, beat your ass, knock you out. If you can't do that, then he's gonna box you for a little bit. But Devin is a constant, you know what I'm saying? He stays in top shape. So he's totally dedicated. And so, you know what I'm saying, Tank is gonna fade out at a certain point and he's gonna freak out before he allow you to beat him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not saying that Tank don't have the skill. He's just not dedicated enough to to
Agreed.
um
Like he's
use
tough,
all
but not tough enough.
right.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
problem,
I think he tough. It's just that he don't want to go that extra, you know, mile to where boxing is his life. You know what
bro.
I'm saying? And I think that's the
Honestly, bro,
same
I
with
thought Tank
EJ
and
and
Tio would have been the biggest fight in boxing after he beat Loma. That shit would have been crazy. I thought like what would happen, like how we saying it, I thought Tio, beat Loma and then Tank would have beat Devin and Shakur and then they would have met up. That fight would have been crazy. And yeah,
man, Tio ain't fighting no goddamn Tank. You know, he ain't fighting no black
that's
fighter. He
another
think that could
problem
be.
with oh my they killing the fight game. They killing it, bro. Not in a good way.
Man, I'm surprised. If this fight, I would be surprised. And I know I talk a lot about Keith Thurman, about how his fights don't materialize. But I would be so goddamn surprised if T.O. don't buck out of this fight. Cause I think he wants that Pacquiao fight. I think he want to fight Pacquiao, something easy like that. And I still don't believe that, even though they said they
I,
announced it. I
bro.
got to see them in the ring.
Why
Cause
everybody
I just
keep
think.
trying to hit the old man Pacquiao? Yeah, did y'all not see what happened to Keith Thurman? People sleeping on this old man. Like, yo, if he hit you with the right shit, it's still like
It's his popularity. It's his
bro.
popularity that's dangerous. But
It's
you know, I mean, you don't get no credit for beating Pacquiao. Look old as fuck in that damn
yeah,
fight with
Mario.
what's his name, Marius Burroughs. Yeah, he looked
Mhm.
old as hell in that fight. And I mean, I got to see them in the ring because Tio don't ever look like he really wants to fight Shakur. He's always talking a lot of stuff about Shakur weaknesses and his all he got is a jab. And it's like, okay, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what you look like in that ring once you get in there. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mhm.
and Shakur, they say he's looking slower as he moved up to 140. They're saying that he looks a lot slower because of his last fight, with Zepeda. And they just saying like he just don't look as twitchy, what I'm saying, as he did in the lower weights. So what I'm saying. So that might if that's true, it's going to be dangerous for Shakur because Tio can hit, and Tio is
Mhm.
is definitely athletic. He's definitely fast, and I hate to say it because I hate
Explosive.
his guts. I really hate his
Yeah.
guts. You know what I'm saying? And I know how Shakur shies away from power, so
Mhm.
it'll probably be a real boring fight. It'll probably be so boring. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm
Shakur is not going into that power. He's not going to fight Tio like he fought Zepeda. He's not going to do that. Let
I
me
could
see
see, look,
again.
honestly, Shakur over here getting punched on by Bud. I'm just being
Hmm.
realistic. Eventually, he'll get used to it. Like I feel like after a while, you won't get used to it because it is boxing. But the problem is, you just don't want to become damaged good from sparring wars. That's that. I feel like that's what Shakur might try and he's trying to avoid. That's probably why he's so timid. He's scared of becoming damaged good. But at the same time, you fighting Bud, so you shouldn't be scared of power. Like you feel me? You should be sparring Edgar. You just feel what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it power is
yeah.
one thing, but when it got skill behind it, that's when it becomes dangerous. But just power alone, yeah, I don't know that because I you feel me? I've sparred gorillas and box people outside, and you feel me? Like so like the power is there, but like if you got skill, you could negate the power. Like you could is I can't explain this. Like you could either stuff the power, you try to evade the power, you try to deflect the power. But the only problem is if you can't take it, that's the real problem. If he can't take it, then yeah, it's a wrap. That's what it is.
Well, my thing is with Shakur is his hands are deteriorating fast, and he has brittle hands, and that's gonna kind of help. Well, it's with his hands being brittle, he's gonna have to be selective in who he fights because he only gonna have so many few fights left with his hands crumbling every time he have a fight this early in his career, and so he's going to have to pick the best fights for the best money because it's taking him so much time to recuperate after every fight. And
Agreed.
just like Floyd, saying his hands were, they're probably shooting I forget what they call it, the cortisone into his
Yeah,
fingers, saying, to kill the pain. But, he's not going to last long with his hands breaking like that. So I see why he's kind of being selective, trying to get big fights and stuff, because I don't
he
think his
got
hands are
long.
gonna hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think his hands gonna hold up. Because now you're starting to see it more and more. But my thing is, he don't even hit hard like that. I don't know why his hands fucked up. Maybe it's just a genetic
it,
type of situation. I don't know, but
I don't get it
shit,
either. Yeah, maybe
I
like
don't see where
maybe
he's
he never used his hands outside of boxing. Like he didn't like it could be what it is. Like maybe boxing is the only time he's really using his hands. And that's why his hands so brittle. Because like if you playing other sports, football, basketball, even soccer, because they're gonna make you condition and use your hands. But maybe boxing was the only thing that he ever did. So because of it, he's been punching and I think that's probably wear and tear from being because I always hear they say like young boxers because of them boxing for so long, even though they body develop, they still get wear and tear. So that could be what it is. It could be something to that degree, or his genetics is bad. Something. It has
right.
to be something.
Well,
Or
he
his
he grew up
conditioning
in
not
Rio
the
de
best.
Janeiro. He grew up in Rio de Janeiro, and them guys, he been fighting for a long time. Cause them street guys out there, they in gangs and stuff, and what I'm saying, he probably had a rough background fighting. You know what I'm saying? Out there in them streets, them boys are serious with it down there, cause they ain't got
Yeah.
shit. Go watch that movie City of God, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you ever check that out. But
I'll check it out.
I wanted to show.
I'm about to head off, Paul,
I
but
want-
I'm gonna stay in the chat and talk to you.
All right, then. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Retro. One of the
I'm
300
happy I got
coming
to
up.
talk to you.
That's how you do. Save your boy from running his mouth 247. So here is, I want to show you guys the end of Virgil Ortiz versus Eric Lubin. Not the fight itself, but when Boots came into the ring. And this is kind of like the kind of revamp what they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna show you something that Virgil Ortiz is telling people on the podcast. Okay, so this is
Okay.
fair use, and
Let's fight in boxing.
show
I
you
think
guys.
he did a great job. He looked good. But I'm gonna show the world why I'm the best in the world, and I'm gonna show his team. They've been talking all crazy. They've been talking crazy, and I'm gonna back it up, and I'm gonna show the world why I'm the best in the world. But like I said,
But no one's been talking crazy, bro. Your dad is the first one that said that I was ducking. It's on video. It is on video that he said we ducked and we didn't get no offer.
it don't matter. The time is now. It's their time. Let's get this money and let's make this fight happen.
It does matter because you said that we're the ones talking. We're not the ones talking. Oh, we started talking after you guys started talking. It's retaliation. It's retaliation.
Your manager's talking all crazy. Oscar's talking crazy. It's the time, and I'm gonna make you pay for everything they saying. Straight like that.
Ain't nobody's gonna pay over here.
I'm gonna make you pay.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I guarantee you. And we can bet whatever. I guarantee you.
I don't want to take your money away, bro. I'm not
You ain't
betting.
gonna take nothing.
Nah.
You ain't gonna take nothing. I guarantee you. We can bet any amount of money. When we fight, I guarantee you, I'm gonna win.
I don't bet, but don't make any promises you can't keep, bro.
I'm gonna make every promise, and I'm gonna keep it straight like that. You're a great fighter. You look tremendous. But I'm gonna show the world I'm the best in the world. I got something for you.
You got a yes for me?
I got a yes right now. Hey Eddie, where the papers at? Hey, where the papers at, Eddie?
All right, two of the biggest stars in U.S. boxing, two of the best.
So that's what he said. That's what he said then, and listen to his ass now. This is unfair use.
So I got two questions I want to ask you, right, Champ?
Yeah.
For one, there's a lot of confusion, so I want you to clarify and clear this up. Who exactly is in control of your career? Is it you that makes the last decision? Is it Oscar? Is it your manager? Because we hear a lot of different points when it comes to you fighting Jerron Boots Ennis. Your manager says $10 million. Oscar saying maybe you should fight Errol Spence and the undercard should be this. And your dad said that Boots hasn't earned his opportunity, yet you called him in the ring face to face, and that gets the fans excited. So I want to know from you, is that from you, not your team, not everybody, Virgil Ortiz himself, when he laid his head on the pillow, is that the fight that you want, and are you in control, and will you make the last decision based on that?
That is the fight that I want. And you just said it earlier. The thing is, it's a team. And you know what? In business, sometimes people have differing opinions. If I could make this, if I could just, I had 100% control, I would fight Boots next right now. I'd sign it right now. But the fact is that it's a business. And not only do we have the managers, do we have the promoters, do we have the coaches, you also have the broadcasting, like DAZN, you know, you have, there's so many things that go into play that when it comes to making a fight, you know, and it's complicated. It really is complicated. But if you were to ask me right now what fight I would want, I would fight Boots next.
All right, before I leave, I'm gonna say one thing. If Boots beat Virgil, I was gonna put him on the pound for pound list. If Virgil beats Boots, I was gonna put him on the pound for pound list. So no biasness. And for some reason, people keep saying that, oh, people switching up on Virgil. Nah, nobody's switching up on Virgil. We thought when Boots got in the ring, Virgil was gonna say, oh, I signed the contract, I'm gonna knock your head off. Instead, he said, you was talking shit about me first. That's the problem we're having. Yeah, for real. Like this has been blowing me when I just want somebody to hear this, because It's the truth. What we wanted to hear, sign the contract, knock your head off, problem solved. That's gonna be the next fight. Contract signed, that's the next fight. That's what we wanted. We didn't ask for no. We seen a man shrivel up, turn to a shrimp, nuts neutered in 4K. Bro, I can't believe what I heard. So it's like there's no biasness. We just want the fight, and we want whoever to win come out on top. They made the best man win, but everybody say we switching up. Nah, we just seen a man turn to a cat. That's what we seen. Okay, that's all it is. We seen the energy change.
You seen a dog turn
Turn to a
into
cat.
a cat.
Thank
But
you.
I
What
don't
happened
think
to my
that's
cane
what it is.
torso? What happened to that boy?
I don't think that's I think that Virgil wants to fight.
I
I
believe he
think
do.
Virgil wants to fight. I think his dad don't want to. His dad see an ass whipping coming, but Virgil wants the challenge, and he's
Bruh.
listening to his dad because his dad is in his ear like, son, it's a business. You don't have to fight Boots because I know you want to get in there, son, and I know you want to mix it up with him, but it's not a smart move. We can get millions and millions of more dollars if we just fight, move this way. If you go that way, you only have one opportunity. It's a dangerous fight, and there's no reward, there's no belt. And I know that's his dad in his ear like that. So his dad is downplaying Boots, saying that he hasn't done nothing. So he's going the whole Canelo, that whole Canelo package, where you haven't done nothing. Um, you don't deserve a fight with Virgil Ortiz. I'm like, nigga, he only fought, he hit the ground twice with Bokachuck, and he looked good doing Maginov, but there's no separation from you and Jerron Bucinich, right? It's
Yes,
like, bro, you
that,
haven't done enough to say that
thank
he
you.
don't deserve a fight with you. So I mean, so it's all propaganda, it's all bullshit, just
Mm-hmm.
to keep Virgil Ortiz from Jerron Bucinich because they see that boy as a heart attack. You know what
But
I'm
can
saying?
I
They
tell
see
you
that boy
something?
punches in combination. They see the
I'm gonna
uppercuts.
tell you something
You know
that's
what I'm
so
saying? For
fucked up.
sure.
Why I feel like both promoters are scared to see their fighters get knocked out. It really feels like that. Like look, Eddie looking like, man,
Because
Virgil
they
might
got
knock out Boots.
investments, bro.
Yeah,
Retro. They got millions of dollars tied up into these guys. You know what I'm
you
saying?
right. You right.
Let's say that you start investing in something. You don't want to see that investment get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Or
That's
lose
true.
value. Right. So it's
That's true.
millions of dollars on the line. See, it's entertainment for us. But and I'm not giving them a permission to duck because that's
Nah.
why it's so exciting. It's because they do have so much on the line, right?
But
That's why
one thing, well, what would happen when we over marinate the fight and everybody start being like, I don't want, you know how it was with Spence? The fight took so long, people got tired of hearing it. Like it was bad. My
right.
brother was like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. That fight should have been happened. And then when the fight happily happened, Spence was damaged goods. It was a one-sided beatdown. We just don't want to see another repeat of that. That's the problem I'm having. Like I feel like if they
But
want to do it,
that's what happens. That's what
ah,
happens when you wait people out. You saw how they did Wilder. It's all strategic. None of them guys wanted to fight him when he was doing his thing. Right,
not everybody want to
2018.
fight him.
Right. Isn't
I'm about to
that
leave
crazy?
off that one.
And then they're like, "Oh, you see, he was never shit, right?" But when that man was knocking out everybody, you ain't want to get in there.
Yeah.
Everything. Wilder ain't nothing. Wilder don't deserve a fight with me. Da, 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 da,
Mhm.
da. So when you start, when you hear that duck talk. When you hear that duck talk, and said, and that's what be happening. He said, "Who's gonna be a Canelo coach now?" I mean, does it really matter? It's kind of over for Canelo. It really don't matter who he get. It don't matter if he win or lose his next fight. Um, you know what I'm saying? It really don't matter who his coach is. He's kind of passe in the conversation of being a champion. He's been protected his whole career. So really, to me, it don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like see what happened after he got those big network deals, he just went Hollywood on everybody. And it's like Canelo can do what he want to do. And once they start talking about that, like that about a fighter, then all of a sudden it's kind of like it's kind of over for that fighter. Is a real, taking on real challenges. You saw it with Triple G. You know what I'm saying? He got a big money network deal, and it's like they keep trying to make big stars of these guys, and they don't really want to fight for real. So, what I'm saying? Hopefully now we see networks starting to smarten up, what I'm saying, and holding back on these big money deals and making these guys fight real fights. Because, they just denied the Errol Spence Jr. fight for Virgil Ortiz Jr. So he can't escape. So they boxing him in and walking him down to make sure that he choose maybe another champion like Backrum, or make take on a challenge like Boots. So they're getting away from the model of just giving them big money just to fight who the hell they want to fight. And that's the coolest ass shit that I ever seen. You know what I'm saying? He says, facts fam. He says, what Sir Ironheart? Where is Sir Ironheart? Usually he be coming up on the pad. He must be at work or something. He says, same Spence stays away from Roy. He got to. Roy's gonna get every fighter he encounters knocked out, and I understand that he's passionate. He's very passionate about the sport of boxing, but you're not a trainer, bro. You might be a good fitness coach or something like that. Maybe you should dial it back. A fitness coach and a motivational speaker, something like that, like some kind of motivational speaker guru. I could see Roy doing something like that. But as far as training them on the fundamentals, boy, you had the worst fundamentals I ever seen in boxing. Bro, go sit your ass down. Go sit your ass down. I can't have you touching my boy EJ because he already got a lot of obstacles that he's gonna have to overcome. So it is what it is. So also we got the Xander Zayas and the Abbas Barrero Barrero, or how you ever say his name. He said they're going to be unified on January 31st of 2026, and I think we're sleeping on that fight. I think that's going to be a good fight too. Um, that's coming up next year, um, for them to unify the WBO and the WBA. That's going to be a hell of a fight because Xander, even though he's a good boxer, what I'm saying, he don't have enough power to like really stop Albus Barrero from coming in, and he's an inside fighter. He's one of those pressure fighters that just keep coming. So that's going to be a damn good fight. Say I saw the fight with Eunice, and that was a hell of a fight. So even though we don't know a lot about Abbas Barrero, I think he's a tough guy, right? And saying he never combs his head, which tells me he's gonna probably put some whip ass on Xander Zayas. He's probably gonna whip his ass, bro. Cause that dude when he get hit, he just keeps coming. He just keeps coming. Now I can see Xander outboxing him. Um, because he can't move. Xander is a great foot movement type of guy. He's a pure boxer. I'm saying he's not really a banger, but I'm saying he really knows that ring. I'm saying he's mastered boxing, but that's about it. I'm saying he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be able to hurt Barrero. Not with somebody who keep their hair like that. He says, tough customer. Yes, sir. I want to see, I'm gonna have to go back and research even more of his fights. What I'm saying? But what I'm saying? I think that's gonna be a surprise, them two. And then, they going about getting about the business of unifying. So that's another thing I'm impressed about. So they're not trying to take no side fights. They're not trying to milk nothing, so they just, hey, saying you're a champion, I'm a champion. Let's get this shit over with. And I think Barrero is basic enough to where Xander, he feel like he can just outbox him. What I'm saying? So he feel comfortable enough. Because if you look at Barrero fighting style, what I'm saying, you can definitely see where Xander could outbox him. But I think he's a lot more durable and tougher than Xander realized. I think that guy is because Eunice was the same kind of fighter that Xander was. What I'm saying? He was boxing the shit out of Albus Barrero, but he kept breaking his ass down. And I think he's gonna do the same thing to Xander. What I'm saying? Unless Xander just feet just way too quick, you know. So shit, yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of people. That's not people really not. They really not feeling Xander Zayas and Barrero like that because Boots and Verger just kind of take all the air out the room. They take all the air out the room. Let's see. Oh yeah. What else I want to talk about? Oh yeah. So we got 7 days until we get Devin, until we get Brian Norman Jr. We got 7 days until them boys start banging it out. And of course, they had that face off, and I just want to show a little bit of that. This is fair use.
I think that he can punch. Don't get me wrong. I do think that he has power, but he's showing it against guys we've never seen before. I don't know these guys that he fought.
Jack, you don't know him don't mean nothing, Jack.
No, I've been boxing for how long? I've been at this top level.
Just because you don't know
the people don't know these people. The world don't know these niggas.
I don't give a damn what these folks know or don't know. I know when I carry these gloves.
No, I do believe that. I do believe that you
got
power.
I might touch your arm and your ankle go break.
Yeah, okay. Sound good. It sound good.
I'm finna turn your meniscus.
It sound good.
You ever had your torn meniscus, brother?
And it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna never happen. You ain't gonna do it.
Walk out with an ankle brace on.
You ain't gonna do it.
Bring it back,
You ain't gonna do it. You do it to the
We gonna need it, man. Gonna slide that thing up in after the first round.
Knock it off.
It's all right,
Knock
brother.
it off.
It ain't gonna be too. He ain't gonna be.
He's really a bum.
Make it real short
I really didn't want to say nothing, but he's really a bum. I never even heard of this nigga until 2 years ago.
Once again,
he just came out of nowhere. He's nobody. He's nobody.
The name don't matter. I'm finna make a name after this one. ATL stand up, baby.
Sound good.
So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? Them boys, they got the animosity going on, and we got 7 days, man, to see, how these boys are gonna get this in. He said he's a tough customer. Yeah, I got one more clip. I'm trying to go through it because I got to come back on later.
So you are saying you are somebody, right?
No,
so,
you know I'm somebody.
So you are somebody.
If I wasn't somebody.
You're somebody, brother.
Okay.
I give you your credit.
Okay.
Boy, you the best of the best. Boy, you out here doing your little thug with
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so I thought knock your block off.
Thank you very
Can't
much.
nobody else say nothing else. That's all. That's how I feel about that.
He suggested a couple of times that your level of opposition hasn't been very good. So suggesting that that's kind of why you're in this position right now. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think it's easy to be a champion at all.
No, Top Rank got the best matchmakers in the world. We both know that. Do we know that?
Then you come up through
Do
Top
we know
Rank?
that? Top Rank? No. Top Rank, no.
But I don't know who you came up with. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. But no matter who I fought in the past, anything like that, I'm here to prove that, okay, y'all say I haven't fought anybody in the past, anything of that nature. But look at this. The great Devin Haney, the Dream, and Debo Haney, and things of that nature. Boy, you bad, you feel me? So after I beat this one, what can y'all say then? Who y'all gonna throw at me next? Because I'm gonna walk through this one.
So the shit talking is beautiful. The shit talking is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I think Brian Norman knows he gets up under Devin's skin. And I think Devin gets under Brian Norman's skin just because, his experience, where he's been, man. This shit, you can see it. I mean, Devin just looked like he is definitely bothered by this shit. You know what I'm saying? He just hates the fact that people think that Brian Norman Jr. can fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? I see it all over his face, and he wants to like really let this guy know that he is the man, and this guy just ain't feeling him like that. And I think that really gets up under Devin's skin, and he wants to like really, Devin can't wait, man. I really think that Brian Norman Jr. has pushed Devin Haney to a whole new level. It's like sometimes it takes somebody to like really aggravate you. You know what I'm saying? So you can, go to another level. And I think Brian Norman Jr. is that dude that's doing this for Dev, man. You said Retro said Norman is 6. He says Brian funny, but said he mean business. I think so too. I think he's really behind the scenes, like trying to put it together. You know what I'm saying? A boxing plan that's really going to beat Dev. And I'm talking about like he's trying to go all out with the conditioning. I think he's coming out with probably maybe some new tricks. You know what I'm saying, besides the ones that we've seen him do in the past. And, so I think he's gonna really try to, leave it all in the ring against Dev. You know. Dev's gonna have to really, really pay attention in this fight. Because this is gonna be the one that's really testing. He says, yep, he says they really rivals in a way. He says, I don't know, but they both want to hurt each other. And that's good. because that's where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's supposed to be. I love this for these guys because, believe it or not, they building each other's legacy so sweetly, right? This is Devin debut at 147, and you know what I'm saying. So that's a test in itself. And then this is the strongest opponent that he's probably ever faced. You know what I'm saying? Besides maybe Lomachenko, right? And Linares, right? So this is a challenge for him. You know, everything's coming in. This is Brian Norman's biggest fight. Being on the world stage is a challenge in itself too. Being able to fight this big a fight in front of everybody, getting this opportunity, fighting for the most money that you ever fought for, hoping that nothing goes wrong. So Brian Norman Jr. is going to have that pressure on him. He seems like he's calm. He seems like he can handle it, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of pressure. You know, you can look cool, but until you enter that ring, man, Floyd said it, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, hey, you can talk shit till you get under the big lights. And that's the thing I'm looking at with Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? Can he cut the ring off on Dev? Can he is he clever enough or have enough foot speed to cut Dev off, you know, because Dev gonna be on another level, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. What's going on? What's going on, Real Shelton in the building? What's going on, bro? Yes, sir. What makes me say what, Julian? What made, just put it in the chat. What made me say what? I think Brian Norman is this is his first this is his first real big challenge, right, man? You know what I'm saying? To fight under the big lights, you know what I'm saying? People act like Devin haven't fought in big fights before. And they think that don't matters, but it really does matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good you think Brian Norman Jr. is, or you know what I'm saying? I've heard a lot about good things about him in the sparring and stuff like that. And PP sparred, and I heard he gave Crawford a lot of good work. But when you're talking about your own fight, when you're talking about the emotion, the pacing and all that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's like, is he gonna be his footwork? If you're talking about the footwork thing, I don't think his footwork is all that great. You know what I'm saying? I think it's pragmatic. I think he has pragmatic footwork. But when I talk about when I gotta see him in this fight with Dev because he got some unusual footwork. Let's just put it that way. He got some unusual footwork. And I don't see, I mean, he's explosive. It worked for you if you're explosive. He's more of an inside fighter. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him work his way inside, you know what I'm saying, and different punches he used to get to the inside. But I don't think none of that's going to work with Dale because he's a mover. And I've seen most of Brian Norman Jr. Opponents, they all come to him, you know what I'm saying? Most of his fights, they come to him. Okay, hold on for a second, y'all. Yeah, hold on. Yeah. So, yeah, his footwork is unusual. You know what I'm saying? 2 Cents says trash. Um, but I don't think the footwork that he has is going to work with Dev. You know what I'm saying? He's going to try a few explosive moves, but I think Devin's going to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? I think Devin's going to be ready for it. And I don't think he's putting enough respect on Dev's name, man. It's like Dev, you know, he made mistakes in the Ryan Garcia fight, but I don't think he's going to make those same mistakes against him. And I don't think Brian Norman Jr. has the same kind of hand speed that Ryan has. And I don't think Dev is going to be trying to sit inside the pocket, you know what I'm saying, to fight him. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a different dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, Brian Norman Jr., he needs more experience, man. He needs more experience. Now, can he beat Dev? Does he has the power to beat Dev? Yeah, I think he does. If he could catch Dev, you know what I'm saying? If he can catch Dev with the power that he has, I think he most definitely can knock out Dev. But I don't think he has enough experience to catch Dev to cut off the ring. I don't think he has the footwork to catch Dev. I don't think he got the foot speed to catch Dev. And that's not saying anything bad about Brian Norman Jr. It just says that the 147 division is very weak right now. It's very weak. If a fighter like Brian Norman Jr. can grab a belt already, you know what I'm saying? There's no opposition out there for him. You know what I'm saying? Except for Dev. You know what I'm saying? Who's already a proven champion. What's going on, King Judah in the building? What's going on, bro?
Man, look, bro, nothing much. What I want to say is this, bro. So first of all, I know this fight probably over with the one I was watching with that DAZN dude. But anyway, that's what I predict the fight gonna look like with Devin and Brian Norman. Maybe not just like that, but it's gonna be similar, bro. More of the same. It's like unless Devin make a glaring mistake, like honestly, bro, I don't think most people can beat Devin unless he do something stupid. Like when he went in against Ryan and wanted to stand right in the ring and trade with him, I think that's how Devin Haney loses. I think if Devin Haney fights his fight, it's not a lot of people that's gonna beat Devin, period. But with Brian Norman Jr., I think, I'm not Devin say he a bum, right? I'm not gonna say he a bum. I don't agree that he a bum. I think he dangerous. I think he can hurt anybody. And as far as 147, I know you said it's weak. It might be weak, you know what I'm saying? But I still think even if 147 was a strong division, Brian Norman Jr. would probably still find his way in the top 4 or 5. So I do think he getting beat though. Like I was just arguing with somebody else about the fight we watching now. When I said the same thing, I was like, "Well, this how Devin Haney versus Brian Norman gonna look," and they was like, "Nah, it ain't gonna look nothing like this. It's gonna look different than this." And then I told them, I said, "Yeah, you're right, because Brian Norman lunged more than Scooby do, so he gonna get countered more than Scooby getting countered. So yeah, it's gonna look a little different."
Well, as long as Dev don't try to go for the knockout blow when because Brian Norman, he does lunges, and Dev can take advantage of that. But Dev gets stuck on that front foot when he tried to put power on his punches. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him do that with Ryan Garcia, trying to lean into his punching, and
Right.
that puts him at a disadvantage because, what I'm saying, of course, he don't have the power to like really stun him enough to, what I'm saying, to keep, freeze him for a little bit. But he does have the speed to freeze him.
Right. I'm gonna tell you something else Devin do that I hate, bro. Like I hate it with a passion, Paul. A lot of times when Devin do get cornered, you know how sometimes you get cornered, you got to fight your way out of it, or you try to attack your opponent while they coming in just to let them know, look, I'm not prey. Every time you trap me, don't mean you can just walk in. You know what I'm saying? But what
Right.
Devin like to do is he like to throw a 3-punch combination, Paul. And him throwing a 3-punch combination, there's nothing wrong with that in itself, right? But it's the combination he chooses to throw. Devin like to throw the 1-2 left hook. You know what I mean? The 1-2-3. And let me tell you why that's a bad combination. It's a bad combination, period, in theory, but it's a worse combination for Devin Haney. Where the 1-2 is good, right? But usually the 1-2, unless you got a lot of power, the 1-2 don't always stop your opponent in their tracks. It's the third punch that you want to get their respect with, right? I would prefer that Devin throw a 1-2 uppercut, 1-2 left uppercut than a 1-2 left hook. You know why? Because when they coming in at you, that uppercut is more likely to land more often than that left hook. Another thing about the left hook is to throw the left hook, Pull, you have to open yourself all the way up. How many fights you seen with Devin Haney, bro, when he throw that 1-2-3 and then his opponent attack on the 3, but they barely miss him? But I'm looking at it like, damn, Devin, bro, if they would have landed there, they would have knocked you out. He do this over and over again,
the
bro.
uppercut. Well, you got to look at it too. The uppercut is an opening shot too. Where what he should do is a jab and get the fuck up out of there. Anytime you're in the corner, you don't want to throw no uppercut because think about it. When you go down and shit, that leaves you open. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Anything that's from waist down, if you ain't got your gloves up defending yourself and you're not punching, the safest punch is a jab, a quick short jab and a circle out. You know what I'm saying? Or a check hook or a check left hook. You know what I'm saying? A quick short check left hook so you can circle out. The quickest punch, because if you try to do an uppercut, shit, that's gonna leave that chin up there. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm trying to tell
that's
bro. the uppercut. Like what I'm saying is, if you're gonna do any, the uppercut is
Like
better
a up
than the hook.
jab or something, maybe a up jab or something
The
like that.
reason
Up
I say
jab or
this, bro,
something.
the reason I say this, because when you throw your left uppercut at somebody, right, you do leave an opening because every punch you throw gives an opening, but some punches give
Right.
more openings than other ones. So if the uppercut, to me, the left uppercut, your front foot uppercut, your lead uppercut is gonna give away a jab and it's gonna give away their uppercut also. You see what I'm saying? But if you throw a hook, every punch in the book is open to your opponent because you opened yourself all. You have no defense. You have no defense.
Right. I agree. I agree with that. But it also depends on how they throw it too and how fast they throw. Because you could throw short shots when you're on the inside. Fighters got to learn how to throw short shots to lead a limited time. So
Right.
to get to the
Right.
what I'm saying, throw short shots on the inside. Don't throw
Right.
them long fucking bombs or throw a short jab just to throw you off. Hit you in the nose
Right.
and get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Or what Devin does is he clutches. You know what I'm saying? He clinches.
Right. You know
So,
what'd be a good one?
what I'm
You know what'd be. See, like I agree with you though. See, what the problem Devin doing is, somebody said in the chat too. The problem is too predictable, because one thing that what's predictable about it is that you love to go to that when you feel corner. After your opponent figure out when he corner, he loved the 1, 2, 3, right? They already noticed. Then it's 3 punches for them a time, pull. So the more punches you have coming at you consistently, the better you get at timing the one you want to counter, right? So my thing is shorten up, like you said, one quick one. They can't always counter one quick punch. And another thing is too, stop doing the same 1, 2, the 3-punch combo when you corner.
Right.
But what I would like to see him do, Paul, because now early in his career, this used to be a mistake, but less of a mistake. The punch he used to go to counter you when you corner him was just a straight cross down the middle. Now he don't have power, so it wasn't always that effective, right? But I would like to see him double it up by, now you can add, let's say you throw that cross with that lead uppercut. That's going to be better than what you're doing. That's going to be better than the 1, 2, 3 to me. If you lead with the cross that you always used to lead with, but you follow with that uppercut and then you pivot out, you might be able to pivot out with a jab off that uppercut. And that's going to be better than what you're doing.
See, well, what I see, he's working on new punch selections and stuff. He's working on new combos. So I think we're gonna see I think Brian Norman has pushed Devin into evolving. What I'm saying? I think that's what a lot of people who support Brian Norman, they don't understand this. That he's pushing Devin into evolving, what I'm saying, for the 147 division. And basically he's making Devin a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I see Devin working on different um punching techniques and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I don't even know at 147, Devin might be hitting harder. You know what I'm saying? At 147. We just don't, it's so many questions
Right.
that you just don't know. But one thing I do know on the Brian Norman side is that this is a new experience for him. As
Right.
far as the big fight thing. And I think his fans are not taking that into account, saying that he's not gonna know how to pace himself. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna know, he's gonna have to figure out a lot of things. He's gonna have to adapt to a lot of things inside the ring. And before the fight is over, I don't think he's got such a learning curve that the
Right.
fight's he's gonna lose the fight before he could adjust to everything that he needs to know. That's what I'm trying to say. He's gonna have to adjust. And I know he's been in the game for a minute, but we're talking about championship fighting is different. You know what I'm saying? When you're fighting somebody who's got more experience than you do, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's got nothing to do with whether that fighter's got power or got a chin. He got more experience. He knows how to pace himself. He knows how to manage his emotions, his fear, all of that shit. He knows how to fight on the big stage. He's not worried about them people. He's not worried about the cameras. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that comes with fighting in a big fight like this. And people they really don't take that shit into account. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you know
Because
what
I
else?
guess because no,
Oh, my bad.
go ahead. Well, he just
Well,
seems so laid back.
yeah, no, I like B Norm. Like B Norm funny and shit. Brian got nothing against Brian. No, I'm probably gonna root for him after this fight. But what I'm saying is, we was talking about it on BFTB, bro. BFTB broke down some fights, 2 of them, Quentin Rounder and the one he knocked out, Sasaki, right? Now, what a lot of people don't, they not looking at. Now, if I say this, they gonna say I sound crazy because he's young, right? But Brian Norman Jr. does gas throughout fights. Like the longer the fight go on, and when I say gas, it's not like a Caleb Plant gas, you know what I mean? But when I say gas, is you can tell when he punches himself out, and he'll take breaks, and he'll take breaks throughout rounds to get his stamina back. Is that what I'm saying? I don't think he have a bad gas tank, but I do see where he do need breaks to because he can't have that. He don't have that constant pressure like a Manny Pacquiao or Joe Frazier. You know what I'm saying? He need breaks. He need breaks. And the thing is, Devin Haney don't need no breaks. So what you think Devin gonna be doing while he taking a break? Devin gonna be punching him. Devin gonna be scoring points. I just don't see the path to victory for both of them. Devin have more paths to victory against Brian Norman than Brian Norman has against Devin.
Well, I think Devin adjustments is more about the way he moves, his footwork, and the way he, instead of punching single punches, he's punching in combinations. He's, so those are his adjustments. You know what I'm saying? It's like, punching, what range he punch at. Those are the adjustments that Devin make, you know what I'm saying? Like in fights, like he fought inside. That was an adjustment. It was a bad adjustment, but it was an adjustment that he tried to do with Ryan Garcia, right? Instead of, but you see the adjustment he made when he stopped boxing Ryan Garcia. It was just to the point where he was just too far gone from taking too much punishment and stuff. So those are the adjustments that Haney makes. He's gonna stay out of range, or he's gonna be inside of range, right? Or he's gonna punch singly like Shakur, or he's gonna punch in combinations. So those are the kind of adjustments that he make. Even though what I'm saying, it ain't like other boxers adjustments. It's just he's not a power puncher, so he can't really hurt you. So he has to make those kind of adjustments, changing his range, punching one so you can't really counter him, with a single jab, or he's gonna double jab you and get the hell on up out of there. Those are the kind of adjustments that Dev make. It don't seem like real adjustments, but for him, when you're limited, um, to what you can do in the ring, though you have to work with what you got. And I think he's understanding that he's got to switch up the timing on his punches. He's got to switch up, so he got the punching combinations at some points. You got the, and I think he's learning more of that, of making adjustments. He's not going to be able to make adjustments that other fighters who got sustainable power. He's not going to have to he can't make those kind of adjustments, pairing blows and, this kind of thing, catch and shoot type stuff. So he's not that type of adjuster.
Well,
You know what
he
I'm
been
saying?
practicing. That's what he been practicing, that catch and shoot. That look like what he
But
been doing
I said
on the
seen him work. I've seen him working on different shit. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So so 2 Cents don't think he can do that shit. She said he does the same damn thing over and over again. So
Well, we
he
can't
is
say that.
confident doing
We can't say that. We can't say he do the same thing over and over again because every fight he had before the Regis fight was a whole different Devin that none of us seen before. So you can't say Devin always do the same thing because the style that Devin used against Regis was a style that he never used before in his career. Devin rarely ever. That's when he first got rid of the shoulder roll. So you can't say Devin don't make adjustments because we watched him change his style from fight to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say too, with Devin, this how I would beat Brian Norman, bro. Like this would be my strategy, right? Because Brian Norman, we know that he's aggressive. He's a naturally aggressive person. Like he not fearful
Right.
at all. Boy. You can tell he not scared to get in a gunfight with you. Nothing in the ring gonna scare him. So he want to come forward and he aggressive. What I would actually do is I would start the fight like I did against Ramirez. I would do that. Now, mind you, I wouldn't finish the fight like that. I wouldn't run the whole fight. I would start the first round or 2 or 3 doing that just to frustrate him. I would want him to be frustrated because see that Brian Norman is dangerous to Devin when he controlled. When he thinking and he controlled and he trying to put that power where it's supposed to go, that's when he dangerous. But if you can make him frustrated to the point where he just want to hit you at all costs, that's when you got him where you want him. That's what I would do to Brian Norman Jr. I would frustrate him first, then box him. And then when he gets, because I told you he take breaks. When he take breaks, I would start to punish him. That's how I would do the whole fight. I would frustrate him, box him, then punish him when he take breaks.
Mm-hmm. So 2 Cents says, Never liked Devin broken show. Yeah, he don't do that anymore. I don't see him do that shoulder roll anymore. But yeah, it got him in a lot of trouble. Um, what's going on? What's going on, Gabe? Let me ask you guys a question. Do y'all think that your boy Errol gonna be a champion again?
I want to see it, bro. I really do, bro. I want to see. I want to see Errol come back. Um, I like this. This was realistic for me because I like to be realistic with my favorite fighters. I don't expect Errol to come back and be undisputed. I don't even know. I don't even know if he can unify. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see him get a belt again one time. You know, become a champion again at least once. And I want to see him have at least 2 or 3 fights. His first comeback fight need to be against Keith Thurman, bro. That's the perfect comeback, bro. Go ahead and get in the ring with Keith Thurman. Well, I don't know. Do Keith Thurman have a fight? Do Keith Thurman have something in contract with Fundora,
Yeah,
or can he fight?
yeah, yeah. Fundora hurt his hand. They're supposed to have
Oh
fought.
shit!
He hurt his hand, and he just waiting for Fundora hand. They pushed it back,
Oh
so
shit!
they pushed that fight back. So
That's the
you're
fight I
gonna
want
watch
to
this
see.
Chris Eubank. You're gonna watch this Chris Eubank fight tonight.
Talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I came on here with you because I like Chris Eubank. I like Chris, and then he's training with Bomac again. That's the best I ever seen him is with Bomac.
Oh yeah,
So
that's what I said earlier. That's what
I
I
want
said
to see
earlier.
him.
I said he looked like a complete fighter under Bomac. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I think that's gonna be an excellent fight. It's gonna
You
be an
know he want to
excellent
fight what
fight.
you call it before he retire. I wonder if they trying to set him up. You know he always wanted a Canelo fight before he retired. I wonder if they still trying
Mm,
to get him one.
yeah. Yeah. So for me, I would hope to see him. You know, say really this is the whole thing. It's kind of fantasy, to think that he's all the way back healthy to being 100%. And if that's the situation, what I'm saying, that I'm playing on, yeah, I think he could be a champion again if he was 100%. But him being 34, him having this long a time off being inactive, I don't think he's gonna be a champion. I don't think he's gonna be a
I
champion
don't even
again.
think he should try to be a champion for real.
Why not?
The only thing
I
is,
mean, like think about it. Earl got this big question mark, one. And two, I
Mm,
just feel like he's at the point in his career at this point, he don't really need to focus on being a champion.
right.
He's at the level to where I think I talked to you about this before, where I feel like boxers have different phases in their career. And Earl done
Right.
did the champion thing. He done the same with Charlo. He done did the run thing. He done did all of that. He done dared to be great. And I feel like at this point in their careers, they should just focus on getting competitive fights and fighting for and putting on entertaining fights for their fans. And if he wants to be a champion, then that's of course I support that. But I'm not gonna be the fan that's like, oh, he need to try to get a belt. He need to, I don't really feel like that. I have no problem watching Earl Spence just fight for the rest of his career.
Yeah, but I mean,
I agree with
I
that.
get that. I get that, but the difference would be, see what you're saying, that'll go for certain fighters, but Errol Spence mentality is not to come and go through the motions. This is an extremely competitive person. This Errol Spence is not gonna come back to boxing and don't have the plan to win. And if Errol win, let's say Errol have a comeback fight, he win impressive. If somebody put a tighter opportunity in front of Errol Spence, he is not the fighter that's gonna say, nah, I don't want to be a champion again. That's not his mental makeup.
No, I didn't
So
say it. I'm just saying that I'm not going. You know how some fans like he need to be a champion. He need to get a belt. I don't think that should be the push, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, if he wants the opportunity, cool. I'm not saying he should turn it down. What the fuck?
I think he can do it. Let me tell you why I think he can do it more than anything. Because I had this talk with somebody else. The argument people don't pay attention to boxing, right? Of course, as people who don't box at all, we have to respect champions because none of us is a boxing champ. We have to respect them on certain levels because we can't do it, right? But when it comes to their peers, it's actually not that hard to become a champion because in every weight class, there's always a weak champion. It's always one, at least one. So being a champion is easy as you putting yourself in position to challenge somebody weak for a belt, and you can be a champion. Now, they're not weak to us, but to Errol Spence, I promise you, whatever weight class he go to, there is somebody in that weight class that will have a belt that he can take.
The weakest champion at 54 is Xander Zayas, and I doubt Earl Spence finna fool with Xander because it ain't a competitive enough fight.
Well, I mean, just for the belt. I mean, the thing is, like again, a lot of these people you see, like historically, right? When somebody like Errol, who was on at one point and fell off for whatever reason, when they come back, usually that's the pattern. They usually just trying to be a champion again. They don't usually have undisputed aspirations. You know what I mean? They usually just come back. They want to get a belt, and that's enough for them usually to ride off into the sunset. Roy Jones Jr. said the same thing. He was like, "Yeah, I would like to see Errol come back and try to
But
become
Roy
a
Jones
champion
Jr.
again."
wasn't a big money fighter either, though.
You say what?
Roy Jones Jr. wasn't a big pay-per-view star like that either, though.
Well, the thing is, Errol Spence being a pay-per-view fighter, that was extra to his career, because really, bro, Errol Spence had the same type of mindset of a Roy Jones. The money for Errol, I'm not gonna say the man don't like being rich. Everybody like being rich, but Errol Spence have a different mindset. This man he's a competitor. He want to fight the best. He want people to think he the best. He want to challenge himself. That's why this man tell you he don't want tune-ups. He don't have the mental makeup to say, well, I know I can take this easy fight and make a lot of money. Let me do that. That is not his mental
But you
makeup.
want him to take an easy fight for a belt? He's not gonna do that either. Earl Spence is at the level in his career where I feel like, just like Charlo, they want big money fights. Fuck them belts. Like seriously, what's the point? Like what for what? Now if they
But
want them, cool.
I
But
don't
like
believe
for
that.
what?
I
Like
don't believe that.
seriously.
I don't believe that, because you agree with me that he don't have the mental makeup. Now you said he do. I don't believe
No,
he
no,
have that
no.
mental
You
makeup.
said that he wouldn't fight a fight that's not competitive, but you just said he should fight the weakest champion in the division. And I'm saying he's
When you
not
going
gonna
for
do
belt,
that because it's not a competitive
when you
fight.
going for belts, you don't care. Do you think when Errol was on his run before he fought Bud, when he had them 3 belts, if it was Terrence Crawford that didn't have that belt, if it was a weak champion that had that belt, Errol would have fought them regardless of how weak they was, because the belts was the goal. Now, if they didn't have no belt, no, he wouldn't fight a weak fighter. But if they got something he want, he coming to get it. So yes, he would. It's more likely that he would end up fighting somebody that he don't think is a good fighter if they have a belt.
Well, I think since the silence is deafening. But I think it's just kind of hard to say because we haven't seen him in 2 years. This is kind of hard to get a feeling for what EJ is on. But I'm with 2 Cents though. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see him be a champion, but I'm cool with him just seeing him in the ring again. You know what I'm saying? Fighting. Just like kind of like what Andre Ward said. It's just good to see EJ, how the fans respond to him in Dallas and with Fort Worth. Just to see him back on the scene, because I think his name adds, what I'm saying, a lot of energy to boxing. And what I'm saying, I just want to see him fight some kind of competitive fight, and just to
Yeah,
see what he looked like. You know what
for his
I'm saying?
comeback fight. I'm not. My bad. Go ahead. Go finish.
Mhm.
No,
You got to
I was
hook
just
up your mic. Go
I
ahead.
was just saying, Paul, I'm not saying that Errol Spence need to come back in his very first fight, go fight Zayas or go fight Fundora. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is I want to see a comeback, because I don't believe Errol Spence coming back for one fight. The way Roy put it, he was like, yeah, man, I want to see Errol get back on his bike, come back for like one fight, and then ride off in the sunset. I don't think that's his mental makeup. If it was just one fight, Errol wouldn't come back at all. From the way I done analyzed this man's mindset, if he was only coming back for one fight, he wouldn't come back at all.
I
I
think
don't
Earl
believe that.
barely gonna be able to come back from one fight. To be honest with you, it looked like either he getting blackballed or maybe he not getting
That was my
released.
other point, though. That was my other point, 2 Cents. I was about to say that. Now, this is what I'm saying. I know Poole was saying that, you know, y'all saying that he shouldn't try to go for these big fights. Now, okay, let's look at this from a different angle, because I think he should, right? Now, I'm not right. I'm not right or wrong. Y'all not right or wrong. Those are opinions. But I think what the facts gonna be, if Errol do get himself back into the mix, they gonna offer him big fights. He won't. The only way he will be able to avoid big fights is to turn them down. Do y'all think Errol Spence would turn down big fights? Because they gonna offer them to him. Because right now he haven't even came back yet. He's already being mentioned with
I
Virgil
think they
Ortiz.
gonna block him from getting big fight. You seen what happened with the Fundora fiasco?
Yeah.
They
Right.
did not want
You
Earl
know,
Spence to get that fight. Like it's something up. Like I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but you know how I do, Pool. Like you got to be honest. It's something
mhm.
up. Why Charlo ain't had no fight? Charlo
But it's
came out and
on.
said, "I'm not the reason that I'm not fighting." He's came out and said that. And then
What if Errol
But
really
the
would have came
zone,
out
I
and said
heard
it?
Danny Garcia, daddy saying, we not Danny. This the reason why we've been sitting out for so long is because of the politics. So some of these fighters aren't fighting because of whatever political they got going on in boxing right now. I'm not sure if people are saving Earl from himself, which is why he hasn't fought, or they blocking the big fights for. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's a little strange because we didn't heard Earl supposed to come back how many times?
A lot.
Yeah, I just think the
zone. Well, the zone just turned down the Earl Spence Jr. Virgil Ortiz fight, and look like everything that kind of like with Keith Thurman. Look at Keith Thurman fights getting turned. So it looked like there's a plague on those PBC fighters that was running things.
Well, it was a reason for that.
You know what I'm
it was a reason for that one, though, Paul. You know, they turned down Virgil
No.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is like it just seems like none of them guys can get good fights. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Well, it's a war going on in boxing.
Yeah, I think Eddie Hearn. Yeah, it's a war going on, but I think specifically now y'all can tell me what y'all think about the other fights, but specifically with the Virgil Ortiz era, that got blocked because Eddie Hearn want to make sure Boots gets Virgil. So when they tried to go around Boots to get era, Eddie Hearn had a hand in making sure that fight didn't happen.
Eddie Hearn ain't got no power like that. And second of all,
Eddie Hearn sits right next to Turkey Al-Sheikh every fight.
Man,
every fight
Eddie Hearn Eddie Hearn ain't got no power. Eddie Hearn is a bitch to Turkey. He's bad. He's came out and said it himself. I do whatever Turkey tell me to do.
He got more pull than most people do when it comes to Turkey.
He has no pull when it comes to Turkey. None. He do whatever Turkey tell him to do. That he said it himself. He said, I do whatever Turkey tell me to do. Nobody tells Turkey what to do. I tie Turkey shoes.
I don't know why you expected Eddie Hearn to be able to tell. Nobody tells Turkey what to do. The best thing you can do is to get close enough to have some type of influence.
So how he got pulled in if nobody tells Turkey what to do, King Judah?
You don't think that somebody with you don't think you can have influence on somebody with power throughout history. Kings always have advisors. You never are more powerful than the king, but you can't become an advisor. You can get close enough to influence a king.
Eddie ain't got no influence.
That boy watch Game of Thrones right there. That's that Game of Thrones.
That's just real life. Every powerful person have people close to them that have you have leverage. That's why you have jesters in courts. Like that's part of court. You learn. Like I don't know, y'all ain't never read the 48 Laws of Power. That's
I absolutely have read the 48 Laws of Power.
You could.
I've definitely read the 48 Laws of Power, and Eddie Hearn is a peon.
Everybody can be influenced. Everybody can be influenced by peons, by pawns, by anybody. Once you get close enough, if somebody take a liking to you, people with power take a liking to you, you have influence over them.
Right.
I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn ain't got no influence to block no fight. I'm telling you that right now. And even if the fight was made with Earl and Virgil, do y'all think that Earl finna go fight on the zone?
I don't think he have a choice. I think the way the boxing landscape shaping up, I wouldn't think he have a choice.
I think he said he's not with the PBC anymore. So
wait, who said that?
Somebody was telling me that he is with
I heard that too. Adrian Clark.
He's not with PBC no more. So I don't even think.
But wait, Adrian Clark is just a manager. That don't mean he's not with PBC.
No, that's true. But somebody did say. Yeah, somebody did say he's not with PBC. I don't think. I don't think the PBC. Listen, y'all. I think the PBC finished. They just haven't officially said it. I think it's finished.
How are they finished when they was putting on cars all year?
I mean, shit. Did they put on a cyber car?
So you think PBC is finished? Hold on. So you think PBC is finished and they own Amazon Prime, but you don't think Top Rank is finished and they ain't own nothing?
He never said Top Rank wasn't finished. He never heard me say that.
Hey guys, I was just looking at Tiger Johnson the other day. I was like, I had forgot all about Tiger Johnson. I was like, dude,
he all right.
Johnson is. Damn, you just look at him as all right. You know he was
Olympian,
right?
He good. He good.
This was gonna happen.
I was like, we totally don't even mention him at 147.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. 147 is an exciting division.
This was gonna happen when it comes to boxing promotions, because I don't get into the boxing promotion. Like for years, I watched people argue about boxing promotions. I like boxers. I don't care about promotions. But anyway, what I do see happening though, logically in front of me, is Turkey came in. They want Dana White to get in on this. Eddie Hearn is in tight with both of these dudes. They just gonna phase everybody else out.
Eddie Hearn don't fuck with Dana White.
Well, Dana White fuck with Turkey. That he the middleman.
And Dana White,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's about to go on with Dana White and TKO. I feel like that shit is dead on arrival, especially with the whole fight fixing thing the UFC under investigation for right now. And you know, Floyd Schofield just came out and said, even though I know people mad at him and he ain't got no credibility, but he just came out and said they asked him to fix that Shakur Stevenson fight.
What, they want him to take a dive?
I guess so.
Man, that's crazy as hell.
Well, Dana White crooked. He crooked as a question mark. That it ain't no question about it. This nigga crooked as a question mark. And I want to know. I want to know more about how he fixing UFC fights. I'm not gonna lie. I watched UFC my whole life. Well, you know, my whole dog. I've been watching UFC almost as long as I've been watching boxing. And I ain't see fixed fights, but you know what I do see in the UFC? I see where he try to move certain fighters in positions to become champions over other ones. I do see that. You know what I mean? He show his favoritism. He don't have it.
I mean, it's a lot of they probably you watch all the UFC fights because maybe it's the smaller fights they fixing. Like you never know which fights they fixing exactly, but they're being accused of fixing over 100 fights. And now it's a lot of
That
UFC
makes
fighters.
Well, listen, that makes sense because I told you, like you hit the nail on the head. It might not be the biggest fights, but I could see where Dana White, let's say Dana White signed somebody, right? Somebody who ain't proved nothing, but he want that person to be a champion. I do know that's part of his mental makeup, especially if you white, if you marketable, you attractive, and you white, you got blonde hair, he wants you to be a champion. So I can see where he fixed fights to push them into a championship stat. That's why if you look at somebody like a Conor McGregor, a Ronda Rousey, a Paige Van Sant, a Sage Northcutt, all of these people have two things in common. They white and blonde hair. With blonde hair, he moved all of them to become a champion in less than 6 months to a year. All of them.
And that shit clearly didn't do too much because UFC ain't doing too good right now.
Yeah, because you know he be making manufactured champions and they don't hold up. The closest one that hold up was Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor was actually, you know, he was talented, but he wasn't as good as he was advertised though. He was good, so he held up better than the other ones. But the rest of them, these was average fighters that he was pushing into championship fights. And then and what happened is this is what I do like about the UFC. When you're in the UFC, you can't be the champion, right? Like when you're the champion, you the top guy, you the type girl, you cannot avoid the one that's gonna whoop your ass. They gonna get you. See, in boxing, you can sit at the top for 10 years and the person that was supposed to whoop you, they'll always make it to where they never had a chance to come whoop you. And in the UFC, it don't work like that. When you win a fight, you move up closer to the top. It's like a bracket. So eventually, when you're at the top of the UFC, the person that they can whoop you is gonna get you. They're gonna get you. That's why people don't understand. That's why it's so impressive. It's so impressive what John Jones did.
It's pros and cons to both models, but I think the UFC model and it's like they don't really keep their champions. Like you're not on top of UFC for long for the most part. You got a few that could be up there, but for the most part, you're not really on top of the UFC for long. And even now with them, because they now have an antitrust lawsuit and they're trying to get all the information from them. They want the exchanges from the sponsors, from the management companies to the trainers and to the managers and all this other stuff. And they're destroying evidence. They're like refusing to give this information to the judge. And why do you think that is? So people want boxing to be under one umbrella so bad. And I don't know why they think that that's going to make it better or less corrupt. In my opinion, it's only going to centralize the corruption and it's going to be even more corrupt because now you have one person sitting at the top controlling everything. So it's not going to be boxers going to get a fair shake if it's under this type of model. It's going to be less of, you're going to get the complete opposite of what you're asking for, in my opinion.
I think the only reason why people are entertaining the whole Dana White angle, like anybody who know about Dana White, they know he crooked. What people like about the UFC is that there's no ducking in the UFC. It's no ducking. You going like when you fighting and you saying you the best and you at the top, the best people are going to get their shot at you, and that's what people want to see in boxing.
So you willing to let a crook take over your favorite sport so you can control the fighters?
I want to see the best fight the best.
And again, who's to say you're gonna get the best fight the best if you go under a Dana White top model? You don't know. You can't say you're gonna get that
under that model because under that model, the best fight the best.
Because the best might not even be at TKO.
When Conor McGregor was fighting, well, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't care. I thought when Dana White first came, he was, you know, the whole intention was for him to, you know, what they call it, to give advice to Turkey in the change boxing to something similar to UFC. What he doing with his own league, I don't care about his own league. If he can't change boxing that I watch, then he don't matter. I want to see the boxing I watch change. If he ain't doing that, then I don't care what else he doing. Because I might not watch his league. I mean, I'm gonna check his league out to see what he's hitting for, but I don't know how his league gonna be any different than this one. What he gonna do different?
It's gonna be some shit that's not boxing. They want to change the ring size and the rules. And
I was about to say that. I was just about to say that they trying to change this shit into
I don't want him to do that to boxing. Yeah, no, I don't want him to do that to boxing. What I would like for boxing to do, I like the model
they
of the
finna
UFC.
change some rules. They finna change rules, all kind of shit. It's gonna be their own boxing. You know, it's gonna be Zuffa boxing, nigga. It ain't gonna be American boxing. So
that's
some motherfucker might have to come in there hopping on one foot. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
Let me ask y'all a question. Is the T.O. Shakur fight confirmed?
That's what I hear.
What I said. I said that's what I hear too. But I said I think T.O. still gonna get out that motherfucker. I think
he gonna get out there fight, bro. He gonna get out there fight, but that nigga gonna have an injury that's gonna pop up. Let me predict the future for y'all. T.O. gonna talk a lot of shit, bro. When T.O. talk his shit, it's gonna sound good too. He gonna tell people how he black from the waist down. Shakur messed up by taking this fight. I'm gonna show y'all I'm the best. The takeover is back. I beat Lomachenko. I beat Josh Taylor. I just been waiting back and letting everybody do their thing. Bro, they gonna eat that shit. The boxing world gonna eat that shit up. Shakur, they gonna start calling Shakur scary. They gonna talk about how he a runner. They gonna be calling him Twitters, and they gonna shit on Shakur all the way up into that build up. Then T.O. gonna pull out with an injury, and everybody just gonna accept it. Do you know what they gonna say? Boy, you lucky, bro, because T.O. was going to do something to you. Because you know what? He looked focused this time. You know can't nobody beat a focused T.O. You know he was going to whoop you, Shakur. He was focused this time. And nobody going to question the miraculous injury. Roy Jones not going to say nothing. But Noah Hopkins not going to say nothing, even though both of them question Errol Spence, somebody who ain't never showed, he ain't never showed to be scared of nobody. They question him, but they not going to question T.O. at all when he pull out with an injury.
Man, ain't nobody thinking T.O. finna do shit. I'm sick of T.O.
Yeah, he just kind of he did fake the funk all the time, man. Just fake. Everything about him fake.
Just talk like
But
T.O. Sit down.
But y'all, I got to come on later, so I got to pop off, go get me something to eat, go grab me some more beer. You know what I'm saying? So we come back on probably. I don't know. I got to see what time the fight actually start. I don't even want to watch them prelims because I got food the last time. I'm not doing that shit again.
You got duped last time.
I got duped the last time and stayed on for 6 hours. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like spending time with my folks, so there wasn't not a big deal. So, you know, but this time we just gonna watch the fight. I don't even want to see the co-main event. I just want to see the fight itself. And we'll come back later, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, whenever the actual fight gonna start. Maybe an hour before the fight start, and we'll just, start talking some boxing. Then till then, I got my wife calling me. She mad because I'm a boxing head. You know what I'm saying? Talking to you guys. She mad with me because I'm talking with y'all all the goddamn time. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. We'll be on later. You know what I'm saying? Look for your boy around about 9 or 8 or something like that. And, we'll get on back on here and talk some more shit. You know what I'm saying? King Judah, I'll be looking for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I went to your channel 2 cents, but every time I say people be mad with me because I don't have the time to go to their channel and hang out, but I can't do it. I don't even have time for my own channel.
Right. I feel you. Trust me, I feel you.
I don't even have time because I be listening in to some of the other guys when I'm driving. They say, "Oh man, they don't even come by your channel and holler at you." I'm like, bro, I be on the road 247.
Hey, we said we did your prayer last night on the channel. I had to play it for him.
I was like, hey, bro, I was upset about that shit. I ain't finna lie.
Hey, that shit was so funny, fool. I was crying, laughing. Earl need to leave. I mean, Roy need to leave Earl alone. Leave him alone.
I was like, because you already know, man. Roy gonna get that man fucked up. Come on.
Roy just want to be in the mix. Like, what do you want, Roy? Every time a
Exactly.
fighter dealing with something,
Exactly.
he come popping up, acting like he doing something. But I think he is good for the fighter's mentality and talking to them when they dealing with stuff. I
I
think
thought
he's really good with that.
I thought about that when you said. I said, you know what? He is a good motivational speaker. You know,
Hmm
he's got that passion shit. He got that passion shit going on. But he don't have no fundamentals. He ain't
No,
got no fundamentals.
I'm watching all your
Zero.
fighters try to fight like you. It's ridiculous.
Right. And it's like it's only one Roy Jones Jr. It's only one. You know, it's only one. But I'm
All right,
coming back
Paul.
later. You know what I'm saying? I see you guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all peace out till tonight.